Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we are going to take a little journey through time to explore the incredible evolution of the World Wide Web. We'll look at where it all started, how it turned into this massive collaborative space we use every day, and, what its intelligent future might actually look like.
Okay, so let's dive right in. The history of the web can pretty much be broken down into three big phases. You've got Web 1.0, which we call the read-only web. Then comes Web 2.0, the read-write web. That's a huge shift. And finally, where we're headed now, Web 3.0, the intelligent web. Each one of these is a fundamental change in how we deal with information online, and getting a grip on them is key to understanding the internet itself.
All right, let's start at the very beginning with Web 1.0. This was the first version of the World Wide Web, and it was invented by the computer scientist Tim Berners-Lee way back in 1989. It was an absolutely revolutionary idea for sure, but it was also incredibly simple compared to what we're all used to now.
Honestly, the best way to picture Web 1.0 is like a giant read-only library. You could look up a website and read its information, but that was about it. It was an amazing resource, don't get me wrong, but you, the user, were basically just a consumer of information.
So the most crucial thing to remember here is that Web 1.0 was a one-way street. You had a pretty small number of businesses and creators putting content out there on these static, almost brochure-like pages for everybody else to read. There was basically zero interaction, no comments, no sharing, and definitely no creating your own stuff. It laid the foundation, but the real revolution was still to come.
And that foundation set the stage for something massive. In the early 2000s, everything just started to change. Web 2.0 wasn't some specific technical update. It was a complete philosophical shift in how we use the web. It kicked off this whole new era of participation and collaboration. Web 2.0 just tore down all the old barriers. All of a sudden, you didn't have to be a programmer to publish something online. The web went from being a read-only platform to a read-write one, where everyday people like you and me became the main creators of content. This was the real dawn of what we call Business 2.0. I love this analogy. Think of it like a global potluck dinner. In the Web 1.0 days, only a few professional chefs were allowed in the kitchen. But with Web 2.0, everyone got an invitation to bring a dish, their own blog posts, their photos, their videos, and share it with the entire world. So this new collaborative internet was really built on four key pillars. It all started with open source software that anyone could use and build on. That in turn fueled this explosion of user-contributed content, which really became the lifeblood of the new web. And this collaborative spirit wasn't just for individuals. It completely changed how companies worked, both on the inside and with the rest of the world. Okay, let's zoom in on a really powerful idea that came out of all this: the ability to tap into the knowledge of the crowd. It's called crowdsourcing, and it's based on a really simple but profound idea. The collective brainpower of a huge group of people is often way smarter than any single expert. Web 2.0 gave us the tools to tap into that collective intelligence on a global scale. And here is a perfect everyday example: Waze. That app doesn't rely on some fancy satellite for its traffic data. Nope. It just collects anonymous speed data from all of its users, from all of us, to create a real-time map of what's happening. That is the wisdom of the crowd in action, saving millions of us time every single day. And of course, this collaborative spirit gave birth to probably the most transformative part of Web 2.0, social media. At its very core, that's really all social media is. It's the ultimate expression of the Web 2.0 philosophy. Platforms like Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, they don't really create the content. They just provide the tools for us to create and share it. We, the users, are the engine, and our attention, well, that became the new currency. So, as all this user-generated content just exploded online, we needed a way to organize it all, right? Enter the hashtag. This incredibly simple tool lets millions of us collaboratively categorize this giant sea of online information, creating global, searchable conversations about pretty much anything you can imagine. And the power of this can be just incredible. During a massive wildfire in San Diego, the hashtag #SanDiegoFire became a critical tool. You had residents and emergency services sharing real-time updates, coordinating aid, and getting vital info out there. It just goes to show you how social tagging can have a profound real-world impact. Of course, when everyone's a publisher, you get new challenges. It's really important to understand the difference between two key terms here. Misinformation is when you share something false, but you didn't mean to deceive anyone. Fake news, on the other hand, is intentionally created to fool people. Figuring out which is which has become a pretty critical skill in our Web 2.0 world.
So where are we headed from here? Well, the next evolution is already taking shape. It's called Web 3.0, or as some people call it, the intelligent or semantic web. So if Web 1.0 was a library and Web 2.0 was a global conversation, Web 3.0 is aiming to be like a super smart personal assistant. The goal isn't just to link pages of information anymore. It's for the web itself to understand the meaning and the context behind all that information. And this is going to be driven by technologies like artificial intelligence and machine learning. Web 3.0 applications will be able to understand natural language, learn from data, and even start to reason. It's really all about teaching computers to understand not just keywords, but the actual relationships between different concepts.
The whole foundation for this is something called the semantic web. It's basically about structuring data so that machines can understand the relationships between things. So, for example, a computer wouldn't just see the words Paris and France, it would understand that Paris is the capital of France. Imagine being able to ask your phone, hey, find me a Thai restaurant that my friends like that also has outdoor seating, and it gives you a direct answer, not just a page of links. That's the promise of all this.
Now, as the web gets more complex, it's worth clearing up a common point of confusion. The deep web is just the part of the internet that search engines like Google can't see. Think about your online banking portal or your private social media messages. The dark web, that's different. It's a small, intentionally hidden part of the deep web, often used for illegal stuff. They're not the same thing. And that really brings us to the future. We've gone from a static encyclopedia to a global collaborative community, and now we're heading towards an intelligent, thinking network. As the web evolves to not just store information, but to truly understand it, the possibilities are just immense. And that kind of leaves us with a final question to think about. What will this new level of intelligence really mean for how we all work, learn, and live our lives?